Good morning, student. Today we have to start next chapter 7, getting to know plant. You have go to outside and observe all plants around you. Do you see that some plants are small, some very big, while some are just pitches on green on the soil? आप लोग ये जानते हैं कि जैसे हम अपने घर के आउटसाइड की तरफ जाते हैं, उन्हीं टाइप के प्लांट देखने के लिए मिलते हैं। कुछ बड़े होंगे, कुछ छोटे होंगे, कुछ जमीन पर दिखाई देंगे। इस तरीके के मेनी टाइप्स के प्लांट आपको देखने को मिलते हैं। Some have green leaves, while some other have reddish one. Some have red flowers. Some have tiny blue ones, while some have none. We do see a variety of plants existing all around us. Our homes, in a school, on the way to the school, in the park and garden is not it. Let us get to know different parts of any plants. This will help us understand the difference between the plant of different kinds. Can you label stem, branch, root, leaf, flower, fruits of plant? आप लोग क्या ऐसा कर सकते हैं किसी प्लांट का फिगर दिया जाए जिसमें उसके ब्रांच, स्टेम, लीफ, फ्लावर, रूट को डिफरेंट कलर के रूप में शो कर सकते हैं और शो कर सकते हैं। नाउ हॉर्स, सॉस एंड ट्री, जब हम इनको अलग अलग शो करते हैं तो उस केस में हमें यह आइडिया होता है, ऑब्जर्वेशन मिलता है कि यह प्लांट डिफरेंट टाइप्स के होते हैं। इसे हम बाय वन बाय वन करके अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं। Look closely at the stem and branch of plant much smaller than you. आपने देखा होगा कुछ प्लांट काफी छोटे होते हैं। प्लांट आर अबाउट यू साइज, कुछ आपके साइज के होंगे। प्लांट विच आर मच लेटर देन यू, कुछ प्लांट ऐसे होंगे जो आपसे काफी बड़े होंगे, जिसकी लेंथ और साइज काफी हैवी होगी। Take care that stem does not break. Have the tall plants to see how thick their stem are. आप इसे देख सकते हैं और ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हैं कि किस प्लांट में ज़्यादा है, किसमें थिन है। ये सारे प्लांट को आप ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हैं। We will now group all plants. Observe. जितने भी प्लांट हैं उसे ऑब्जर्व करके ग्रुप वाइज आप टेबल प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं। We give the suggestion you can work in a group 4 or 5 so that minimum number of plants are harm damaged. You may also use weeds with soft stem for the activity. Do you know What with earth in crop-filled lawn in pots, often some unwanted plant or weeds start growing. Have you seen farmer removing these weeds from their field? आप लोगों ने ऐसा देखा होगा कि जब हम कोई क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन करते हैं तो उस क्रॉप के बीच अननेसेसरी प्लांट ग्रो हो जाते हैं। उस अननेसेसरी प्लांट को जिसकी हमें आवश्यकता नहीं होती उसे फार्मर के द्वारा रिमूव कर दिया जाता है और उसे फार्म से बाहर निकाल दिया जाता है। दिस टाइप ऑफ प्लांट इज कॉल्ड वीड्स। इसको हम वीड्स कहते हैं। 2 and 3 for many more plants. Fill the column 4 letters after studying the section. आपकी बुक में एक टेबल दिया हुआ है 7.1 उसे कंप्लीट करेंगे, शुरू करेंगे और 2 से 3 प्लांट और एक्स्ट्रा इसमें ऐड करेंगे। Based on these characters, most plants can be classified into 3 categories. हम इस प्रॉपर्टीज को देख करके प्लांट को 3 कैटेगरी में डिवाइड करते हैं। हर्ब्स, शर्ब्स एंड ट्री। हर्ब्स काफी छोटे प्लांट होते हैं, शर्ब्स मिडिल रेंज के होते हैं और ट्री बड़े प्लांट होते हैं जिसमें ब्रांच हैं और लेंथ स्टेम भी ज़्यादा होती है। प्लांट विथ ग्रीन एंड टेंडर स्टेम आर कॉल्ड हर्ब। They are usually short and many not have any branches. सर्च में किसी भी तरह की ब्रांच नहीं होती, वो काफी छोटे होते हैं। Some plant develop branch near the base of the stem. The stem is hard but not very thick. Such plants are called shrubs. इसमें कुछ ब्रांचें होती हैं और हार्ड स्टेम होता है, उसको हम shrubs की कैटेगरी में। Shrub plant, some plants are very tall and have hard and thick stem. The stem has branch in the upper part, much of the ground. Such plants are called. कुछ प्लांट ऐसे होते हैं जिसकी ब्रांचें भी होती हैं, थिक भी होता है, काफी लंबा होता है, स्ट्रॉन्ग होता है। Based on the above perspectives, we can classify the plant and list by the complete column. अपने कॉलम को कंप्लीट कर सकते हैं। 2 trees plant with warp stem that cannot stand upright but spread on the ground is called creepers. कुछ प्लांट ऐसे होते हैं जो ग्राउंड सरफेस पे मूव करते हैं, रेंगते हुए बढ़ते हैं, उसे हम कीपर्स कैटेगरी में रखते हैं। Wild as take support and climb up are called climbers. कुछ प्लांट ऐसे होते हैं जिसे सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड कर दिया जाए तो अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन की तरफ मूवमेंट करने लगते हैं, जिसे हम क्लाइंबर्स कहते हैं। Perhaps there are some plants in your school at home that you take care of. Write down name of any 2, 3 shrubs, herbs, creepers growing in your house or school. आप किसी भी प्लेस जा करके ईच एंड एवरी कैटेगरी के 2 एग्जाम्पल को नोट डाउन कर सकते हैं, अपनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग को स्ट्रांग कर सकते हैं। नाउ वी हैव एक्सप्लेन स्टेम। We require a glass, water, red blue ink, and soft stem. Your water fill in 1/3 of glass. Add a few drops of red blue ink in water. Cut the base of the stem and put in the class. Observe the setup. Does the color appear in the stem? You will find that the color rise in the stem. If this is kept for a longer period, the color appear in the veins of leaf also. How do you think the color reached there? From this activity, we see that the stem helps with upward movement of the waters. The waters and minerals go to leaves and other parts of the attached to the stem. जिस तरह से वाटर बाय स्टेम के थ्रू लीव्स तक पहुंचता है उसी तरीके से मिनरल्स या अदर सब्सटेंस with the help of vessels plant के each and every part तक carry होती है. Now we have explained leaf. Observe the leaf of some plant around you and draw them in your notebook. Are all the leaves of same size, shape and colors? आप अपने नोटबुक में डिफरेंट टाइप्स के लीव के फिगर को ड्रा करेंगे और यह ऑब्जर्व करेंगे क्या उसका शेप एंड साइज सेम है. How are leaves attached to the stem? The part of leaf by which is attached the stem called petioles. जो लीव्स स्टेम पोर्शन से लीव्स का स्टेम पोर्शन में अटैच होता है उसको कहते हैं petioles. The broader green part of the leaves is called lamina. और जो काफी फैला हुआ पार्ट होता है उसे हम लेमिना. Can you identify these parts of leaves in the plants around you? क्या आप यह फाइंड कर सकते हैं जो आपके around the plants हैं? Do your leaves have petioles? उसमें petioles किस प्लेस पर? Let us get to leaf better by the taking its important impression. If you thought the leaves cannot shine, there is an activity which you make you think again. Put a leaf under a wild sheet of paper or a sheet in your notebook. Hold it in place as shown in figure. Hold your pencil tip side and rub it on the portion of the paper having the leaf. Did you get impression with the some lines in it? Are they similar of those on the leaf? These lines on the leaf are called veins. Do you see prominent lines in the middle of the leaf? This is called midrib. The design made by veins in the leaf is called leaf venation. If this design is net-like on the both sides of midrib, the venation is reticulate. And second, in the leaf of cross, you might have seen that the veins are parallel one another. This is parallel venation. Observe the venation in many leaves. You can without removing them from the plants. Draw the pattern and write the name of the some plant having reticulate and parallel venation. We now find out some of the functions of leaves. We will require a horse two transparent polythene bags and thread. Do you do this activity during daytime on a sunny day? Use a healthy, well watered plant that has been growing in the sun. Enclose the leafy branch of the plant in the polythene cover and tie up its mouth. Tie up the mouth of the another empty polythene cover. It keep it also the stem. After a few hours, observe the inner surface of the cover. What do you see? Are there any droplets of water? How do you think they got there? Water come out of leaves in the form of vapors by the process is called transpiration. Plant release a lot of water into the air through this process. We will learn more about in this chapter 14. Why do you tie your cover around leaves? We have seen the water evaporate if we had not tied polythene cover. What make water appear on the polythene bag? We notice water changing into the different forms in the sum of our activity. You can think these and name the process that make water drops appear on the polythene cover. Leaves also another function of the. Let us study this. We would require a leaf, a spirit, a beaker, test tube, burner, water, and a watch glass. Iodine solution of this activity. Take a leaf in test tube and your spirit completely immerse the leaf. Now place the test tube in a beaker half filled with water. Heat the beaker till all the green color from the leaves come out into the spirit in this test tube. Take out of the leaf carefully and wash it in water. Place it on the watch glass and pour some iodine solution over. What do you observe? Compare your observation with those done chapter 2. When you tested food for the presence of different ingredients, does this means that the leaves have starch in it? We saw that a slice of raw potato also shows the presence of starch. Potato get this starch from these leaves and they store it. Leaf prepares the food in the presence of sunlight, the green colored substance present in the stem. For this they also use and carbon dioxide. This process is called photosynthesis. Now we ask for you, what is photosynthesis? Oxygen is given out in this process. The food prepared by leaves ultimately gets stored in different parts of plant. We have seen that the stem supply leaf with water The leaf use water to make food. The leaf also lost water through the transpiration. How do the stem and leaves get water? अभी आता है क्वेश्चन हमारे पास लीव्स और स्टेम वाटर कहाँ से गेट करते हैं दैट इज द रूट कम इन अब हम यहाँ पर फंक्शन ऑफ द रूट की बात करते हैं who do you think is watering their plant correctly पहली or Bojo why which part of plant is in the soil let us learn more about this part from the following tree you will require two parts some of soil khurpi blade or a pair of scissors and water this activity is to be done in a group of 4 participants. Select two plants of the same kinds from an open ground and take them out with the roots. Take care that the roots do not plant one of them in a pot. We cut off the roots from the other plants and plant it pot B. Water them regularly. Observe the plant after a week. Are both plants healthy? Both plants are watering regularly, but one is without roots, which is not a Dutch in this activity. Help you understand and important the function of root. Let us do an activity. Another activity we would require seed of gram, maize, cotton, wool, and some water. Take two katoris, place some we in them. Put 3 or 4 seeds, gram in one and maize in another. Keep the cotton wet by sprinkling water every day until the sprouts have grown into the young plants. After a week, try to separate the young plants from the cotton. We wash it easy to spread the cotton from the roots. Why? We could not pull out the plant from the soil. Right. We dug them out. This is because root it help in holding the plants firmly to the soil. They anchor the plant to the soil. We have seen that the different kinds of stem and leaves. Do root also show variety of? Let us find out. Study A and B carefully. Now look at the roots of the grain plants have pulled out from the cotton in the previous activity. Do you look like the roots? Those in how about the root of maize plant? Write them of maize in the blank space. Root of gram, root of maize. In what way the root of gram and maize similar? In way they different. The stem to be different type of roots. It is not a tree. Are there also other types of fruits? Let us find out. Go to an open grounds where many wild plants are growing. Dig out a few vase, the soil of the roots and observe them. Do you find that all of them have either in the kinds of root, so taproot and fibrous? Separate the plants you have called into two groups. In a group A, put those have the taproots and group B that have fibrous root. Look at the like leaves in plants in a group. What kind of venetion do you have? What kind of venetion do you see? The plants ग्रुप बी आप इस तरीके से प्लांट ग्रुप ए और ग्रुप बी के प्लांट्स को आप जब कर सकते हैं और इसके विषय में डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. Now we have started flower. You are shown their branches of roots in figure 7.19 ABC. Which one will help you best to recognize the plant? Part A, length, leafless branch. B, a branch with leaf. C, a branch with leaf and flower. Which color did you use for flower? Are all flowers colorful? Have you ever seen flower on grass? Wheat, maize, mango, or guava? Are those brightly colored? By activity 10, we will require one bud of two-faced flower. Each of any of the flower following Datura, China, mustard, China rose, mustard, brinjal, ladyfinger, glumber, also blade of glass, slide, but the seed, paper, magnify glass, water. Those petals, different flower, have the different colors. Where do you think the petals are in the closed bud? Which is most prominent part of the bud? Did you see that the part is made of small like leaf-like structure? They are called sepals. Take a flower and observe its petal and sepals. Now answer the following question. How many sepals does it have? Are they joined together? What are the color of the petal and sepals? How many petals does the flower have? Sepal have. Are they joined one another or the separated? Do you flower with the joined sepal have petals that are separated or are they joined together? Fill the table based on the observation of the whole class and observation of this table from the field table. To locality, whether they are plants with flower. In the last two common letters to the C inner part of the flower. Clearly, you have To cut it open its petals and join for the example in Datura and the well-shaped flower. The petals have the cut lengthwise and separated out of so the inner part of the sheen. Clearly, remove the sepals from the petals, see other parts of the study. Carefully compare your flower with the illustration and identify the stem and pistil. Look at the carefully shown in different kinds of stem present in the different flower. Can you recognize the two types of stem in your flower? How many stamens are there in your flower? Draw the stamen and label the different part. The internal part of the flower is called pistil. If you cannot see completely, remove the remaining stem. Identify the part of pistil with the help of figure. Draw neat and label diagram of the pistil. Now, by activity 11, let us study the structure of ovary. Lowermost and slogan part of the pistil. We will cut this part to study what is inside. Carefully understand how to cut the over of flower. Cut the ovary into two different ways, as shown in prevention. Them from doing, put a drop of water on each of the two pieces. Ovary you have cut inner structure, longitudinal and transverse. Observe the inner part of the ovary using some small bead-like structure inside the ovary. They are called lobules. Draw and label inner part of the ovary in your notebook. Try to find out the inner names of many flowers. As you can asking the gardener or any other person. Remember not to pluck more flowers than you need based on what you have filled. In table 7.3, answer the following question. Do all flowers have sepals, petals, stamen, and pistil? Or the flower that do not have one or more of these? Or this flower which have part of them than used? Did you find an flower which has not different between the sepals and petals? Did you find folder? Did you find any flowers in which the number of stamens is different from the number of petals? Do you now agree the structure of flower not always the same? The number of sepals, petals, stamen, and pistil may also differ in the different flower. Some of these parts may even be absent at the time. We have studied some features and functions of leaf, stamen, roots. We study structure of different flowers. We will learn about function of the flowers in our classes. We will also learn about the fruits in our classes. Now this chapter will be fruits.